Hey fam, it's your girl Sisi Reacts. Today's gist isn't just drama, it's heavy. It's about survival, identity, and family. A Nigerian YouTuber, that's Mom5, bravely shared a heartbreaking story that shook her home in the UK. Imagine this. Social services almost took her children away, came for her job, and her marriage was tested, all because, in her words, she's an African mom raising kids in a foreign land. Let's sit down and really unpack this one. Now, let's be real. For many of us from Nigeria or Africa, discipline is love. Structure is care. That's how we were raised. Firm guidance, sometimes strict, but always with the intention to prepare us for life. But the moment those cultural values cross into Western systems, wahala starts. What's seen back home as responsible parenting, teaching a child to respect, to work hard, to know boundaries, can suddenly be labeled abroad as neglect or even abuse. And that misunderstanding cuts deep. Imagine being judged, not because you're failing as a parent, but simply because you're parenting in a way that your culture, your family, your entire upbringing taught you was right. That's not just criticism, it's a different kind of pain. A pain that questions your identity, your heritage, and your intentions as a mother or father. It's as though the love you pour into your children becomes invisible the moment it doesn't look like what the system expects. And honestly, that reality is scary, because it makes you feel powerless in a land you believed would be safe for your children, a land you work hard to move to for better opportunities. Suddenly, you're not just fighting to provide, you're fighting to prove that your love is valid, your discipline is not cruelty, and your culture is not a crime. And you know what? Sometimes I think about it personally. If my mom had raised me in the UK the same way she raised me in Naija, chai, social services for don't knock on our door steady. Yet that discipline, that structure, that tough love is what shaped me into who I am today. So when I hear stories like this, it hits home differently. It makes you wonder how many African parents are living in fear of losing their children. Not because they don't care, but because they care in a way the system doesn't understand. And this is not just her. I see stories like these pop up in UK parenting groups, in Canada, even in the US. Many African parents abroad are caught between two worlds. The values they were raised with and the laws of their host country. Instead of feeling supported, they feel criminalized. This should be a call to action for social workers and agencies. Don't just look at the color of the skin or the accent. Take time to understand the story, the roots, the context. Because behind every discipline style, there's culture, there's love, there's history. Just a few days later, that mom of 5 dropped an update. And thank goodness it's good news. She revealed that her job is secure and her union has confirmed there'll be no further investigation. My people, can we all just breathe a sigh of relief? Because this one, no be just her victory, it's a win for every African parent who's been side-eyeing the system and praying not to end up in her shoes. This whole story reminds us that culture really shapes parenting. Back home, discipline is love and structure is care. But in another land, the same thing can be misread as neglect. That's a painful clash, especially when you're already trying to give your children the best. But one thing stands out here: her resilience. She stood her ground with her honesty, fought for her family, and by sharing her experience, she didn't just protect herself. She gave a voice to countless African parents living through the same struggle. Sometimes the real victory isn't just surviving. It's telling your story so others know they are not alone. So fam, what do you think? Did the system overstep its bounds here, or were they simply doing their job? Let's talk in the comments, but let's keep it respectful because this is someone's lived experience. At the end of the day, one thing remains true. Naija gist no dey ever finish, but some gist teaches us deeper lessons about who we are and where we're raising our children. Till next time, it's your girl Sisi signing out.